Welcome to another exhilarating episode of Comic Book Straight Talk, brought to you from the secret basement inside one of America's oldest comic shops, Tulsa's own The Comic Empire. Now, true believers, open up your ear holes and get ready to have your head filled with the best comic book knowledge this galaxy can handle. That's right, it's time for another nerd overload with Comic Book Straight Talk.
Welcome back to Comic Book Straight Talk. This is Dalian.
Terry.
Kenny.
Carrington.
And we're going to just talk about the best and worst of 2018. Almost forgot the year. And then kind of talk about some, kind of talked the other day about comic book jargon. One of some of our personal holy grails that we hope to get within the next year or next few years or something like that. So, Terry, you want to start off with one of your best for the year?
My best comics for the year?
Or best event, best comic, best
right off
comic book you found besides the...
Well, I would say right off the bat would be Damned. I really enjoyed the first issue of that.
Damned.
Mm-hmm. Batman the Damned.
Oh, Batman the Damned. Okay, well, you say Damned. I've been thinking, there's several books called Damned. I was Batman Damned.
Did you like Batman Damned, or did you just like the Batwing?
I didn't
like
actually. When I read it, I mean, I knew I was getting the book here at the shop, but I read it online, and so it had already been wiped out. So I didn't see any Batwing at first. I just read the story. So. Didn't impress me.
Granted, yeah,
Little Bruce didn't impress you.
So when I finally saw Little Bruce, didn't impress me. So
I read the digital copy of it, and it didn't have the Wang in it, and so yeah, and I read the physical copy to see it. I didn't do anything for the story. It didn't like spout ahead and talk or anything like I've said before. I mean, so it didn't really. I could have done without it. So
yeah, it didn't.
But overall, it was a good story, though.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
And
I enjoyed the art and. Enjoyed this weird story that they got going, and so yeah, that was. Well,
I liked it because it wasn't really told through the Batman.
Right,
it was told through Constantine and Deadman, really, kind of both them. So, I think one of my best for this year, I'd have to say, is book-wise, is Blackbird from Image. It's been really good. I think it's Sam Humphries is writing it with Jen Bartel doing the art, and it's about this girl who's kind of, typical fantasy kind of story, gets sucked into this fantasy world, and it's good, though. What about you? Book, event, story?
I'll go with Tinseltown from Alterna Press. It's kind of a pulp-type story.
Those Alternatives are the ones that do the $1.50, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Reprint the 90s stuff, I think.
No,
this
all
was
new
new?
stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think they started off with some early.
That's what I thought so, too. And, okay, so this was new. Okay, cool.
I think so.
All right. Well, you got a worst?
Yeah, the worst I read is right off the bat is the first issue of Coyotes. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I had no idea. And the second issue didn't redeem itself any. And so yeah, Coyotes was. Although apparently a lot of people did like it, that's good. Yeah. But I just couldn't get into Coyotes.
One of my worst things is going to be an event. Is the death of Stan Lee towards the end of the end of 2018. So
I look at that as.
I mean, it's going to happen anyway. Obviously,
it was going to happen, and I just had this feeling that he was. It's kind of a good and a bad thing. I'm sad that he passed away, but at the same time, I think he was just being used and just being drugged around like thrown around like a sack of potatoes, and people were using him to run these events and make money off of him. So
well, now hopefully we only have a couple more movies, and he's done with his cameos, I think. So yeah, but that was a sad event though, and as much as I have disliked and kind of talked down about the guy, in the last years or so in the podcast we've done. I am sad he is gone, but I'm glad he's not suffering or anything like you've said, So yeah, to me that was kind of a sad. That's a sad moment of 2018 for me. So
we're still doing the worst.
If you want, or I guess
The worst is the Vertigo relaunch. That has been awful. I don't think there's a good book in the bunch. I don't even think the Sandman books were any good.
Books of Magic has been really good. I tried to read The Dreaming, and this whole thing with the Dreaming being destroyed and the Sandman's out on a walkabout. I'm sorry, I watched Crocodile Dundee recently, so Sandman's off on a walkabout, and we got the Matthew trying to take, or Lord Pumpkinhead or Matthew trying to take over, and kind of it's really not drawing me in as much as I would like it to have been. But yeah, I do agree that has been pretty bad. And I don't even think there's even one book that's a standout on that line.
A lot of Trump derangement syndrome in them.
Yeah, probably. Okay, what do you got now? Best or worst? Which one are you going with?
I was trying to think. I've liked a lot of this year and the previous years. What's his name? Colin Bunn stuff, and he's got this latest one going on called was it Cold?
Cold Spots.
Yeah, Cold Spots. So I've been really enjoying that, and I've been enjoying surprisingly, because he's very hit and miss, more miss than often, is Jeff Lemire's Gideon Falls.
I've read the first issue on that.
And it's been pretty interesting. Some interesting characters. It's actually been doing some interesting storytelling. The concept is not necessarily unique, but it's been interesting, and it's had a very good dark feel to it, and it's keeping that dark feel to it. So.
Colin Bunn, I know it's kind of decisive on here. I know you like his stuff. Kenny likes his stuff. I'm kind of hit and miss on his stuff.
Well, I like his horror stuff.
His horror stuff, right.
I don't care for his superheroes.
Yeah, some of his superhero stuff's been hit and miss. I mean, I liked his Darth Vader series he did. I've enjoyed that. Yeah, and Cold Spot's been pretty interesting. So, one book I was enjoying, and it's come off one of Kenny's recommendations. He's talked about it, and I finally sat down and read them all. And that's Silencer.
Yeah.
I know you've been talking about it, and it's been really good. And I think the new launch books that they did, those new wave heroes, Silencer and Sideways, were really the two best of that series.
And yet, Damage and Terrifics are the ones selling the best.
Right. Well, Terrifics I liked it because it had the FF feel to it, but Sideways and Silencer was really the best too. I think of that. So,
yeah.
Damage looked like the worst one.
I couldn't get into.
It was too damaging. Sorry to borrow a pun from Terry.
Yeah.
You couldn't get into Damage.
No. The other book you mentioned.
Silencer.
No.
Sideways.
Sideways.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'd like Silencer because all the other books felt like they were knockoffs of Marvel books.
Mm-hmm.
And Silencer seemed to be her own character.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it.
Well, she's trying to balance, I want out of this organization, and I'm trying to save my family, and trying to balance all that. It was really good.
Yeah.
And I thought, and her and Deathstroke play off real well together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was pretty cool too. So, what do you got?
Well, you took it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say Silencer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll say, and people are going to scoff when I say this, but Meredith Finch's Xena run was really fun. It wasn't great and it wasn't bad, but it was fun.
Xena's always been fun. The TV show wasn't one that really took itself too seriously.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I would think the comic would kind of fall in that same line too, of not taking itself seriously.
But there's a lot to be said about a book that's just fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I 100% agree. Yeah, I like fun books. Yeah.
Another best.
It's up. You set the tone for how we go down. So if you want to do a best, we'll do a best. If you do a worst, we'll follow the worst.
Her covers on what's her name? Covers on Wonder Woman. Some of the best.
Jenny Finch.
Yeah.
Not Jenny Finch.
Jenny Finch is the pitcher.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Friesen.
Friesen, yes. Jenny Friesen. Well, of course, I also think of Sparks, too, so yeah.
Her Wonder Woman covers, I don't typically read Wonder Woman, but those covers are just really interesting, dark, moody, go along with the storyline. really well done.
I've liked her stuff since she started Vampirella. She did the Vampirella covers. She did the alternate covers
She did a
on
lot of
those.
Red Sonja stuff
and
too,
Red
which I
Sonja.
loved. Yeah, I picked up a lot of her Red Sonja stuff.
I want to say the Vampirellas were her first thing, weren't they? Or she'd been doing stuff before. Cover-wise, I'm going to follow that same deal. I've enjoyed the Art Germ covers this year. They've been really good. His ones that just came out this week, he did or I guess it'd be last week, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I actually think it's a nice cover. I mean, he's drawing a dude, but I mean, he's drawing Spider-Man. It's cool. I mean,
it's a nice cover.
It's a nice throwback, classic Spider-Man cover. I mean,
wrong with it. It just it doesn't have the that his girl pose.
Right, yes.
Did, you know?
Well, like I said, I got the Amazing Spider-Man 25 cover Black Cat he did. And that has the cover on, example. But, I do like his Spider-Man cover, so.
What about the...
Are we talking about the best cover artist? Because I'm going to go with Keith Garvey.
Keith Garvey's
doing
good.
those Zenoscope covers, man. That guy can...
That's the thing I've been going back and because I keep asking you all about where do I read these, and this in order. And I've been enjoying going. I've read the Robin Hood, and I'm going back and reading the Van Helsing's. And I'll look at the alternate covers.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I gotta get this. This is awesome because Garvey has done several really nice covers.
But I mean, the guy is a pinup artist,
right?
So
yeah.
Of course he's going to do fantastic covers.
Yeah.
Well, Middleton has also had a really good run in 2018 with some great covers, and that one Batgirl cover that's all wide with the side view of her face is just still regarded as probably one of the hottest 2018 books. That wasn't really necessarily a it was a variant, but it wasn't like you could order as many of them as you wanted.
Right, the DC variants are really nice. Right, I think this has been an awesome year for covers.
I mean. Matina has had a great year for covers, although did he do those covers?
Well, he did the covers.
He did the covers. We'll get into that in a little bit, probably.
He just didn't come up with it himself.
A lot of people, I think I mentioned this to you guys, a lot of people are jumping on him, and I'm like, I've gotten on Facebook, and the only thing I comment is Greg Land.
Yeah.
I know. I think basically it comes down to respect. I think Matina should have... either A, gotten a hold of the artist that he wanted to use their artwork for and said, is it alright if I do this?
Yeah.
Or B, if after he went ahead and did it, which is probably a little worse, I think, is to mention them and say this is,
But
after Frazetta or whatever.
Right, but I think if he would have done a Deathstroke sitting on a black horse, I think he probably would have done that. After
he's
Frazetta.
not giving anyone else credit.
But a lot of things, it's ones I've seen, except the Phoenix one, which that can be argued because
that
Phoenix
one can be argued because it was a
minimized, right? Yeah. But a lot of them are kind of not even only the same pose exactly. I mean, picture perfect. I mean, their poses are a little bit changed, but they're sitting in like the same kind of deal, like the Mary Jane one. The only thing that's really they have in common is that she's dangling a shoe off her foot.
Well, the Punisher one is really, really just. Really is a swipe from it because you can tell that he just painted over. He took it and just painted over it because it goes down, and where he's holding the gun on his holster. Are you
talking about the one where he's holding the rifle?
Yeah, but he's also got a gun in a holster there.
Well, yeah, but like we've said before,
the exact same shape of the negative space is exactly the same there. So you can tell he just painted over it. And the gun itself is the exact same shape. Same line work, same texture on top of that. So he didn't actually go over that and paint it. So
I don't think so.
It's still good.
Because like's been said though, he's standing. That's an actual, like you said, traditional pose, is it not?
That's how you're trained to hold a rifle in the military.
And I'm sure in the military you have military issued handguns.
But
and so I think people are looking.
I think he's saying the gun that's in his holster though is exactly the same dimensions and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just think people are just looking. There again, we said hypercritical, hypersensitive right now, and they're just looking for anything to.
I think though, the more I've seen, the more obvious it is that he is swiping art, but. It still takes the talent to draw it.
Right.
I mean, the guy's still a talented artist. He just needs to either stop swiping or give credit when he does swipe.
Right.
So
like
he
Terry said.
needs to be Swiper. Swiper, no
I
swiping.
mean, I'm probably not.
Yeah,
I mean,
Swiper,
if
no
he does a
swiping.
really cool cover, I'm probably not gonna stop buying it because of
Well,
that.
I've
but
seen people
I
just selling
do-
off all their stuff. I'm
Yeah,
selling all my
yeah.
Matina stuff, and I'm like, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause-
Then sell it to me.
Yeah.
It's still in the end, it's still beautiful.
Pennies on the dollar for it.
Yep. Exactly.
It's like, people that talk about Greg Land swiping. Well, it still takes the talent for him to swipe
Right.
it. But it's kind of like Barry Bonds and the steroid thing. It didn't make him see the ball any better. It didn't make his swing any more natural. It just gave him more power to hit the home runs.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. All right, where are we at now?
Well, we just got to talk about sort
think
of
it's on
best
you.
covers.
Oh, it's on me.
So it's always on you.
It's always on me. Yeah.
I think it's on you because he was basically doing that as a worst of
We doing worst?
2018.
It was sort of a best and worst with Matina. Really great covers, but
Really good covers. Well, yeah, like I said, I think all the variant covers and stuff have been really good this year. I'm gonna take a cheap shot, like the cheap way out on that one, because you're talking about the covers, yeah. So I guess the worst would be the whole thing of swiping. Greg Land had it in this year. It's just different artists swiping and everything. It's controversy, and it, like we said, it takes talent. So that was my worst, was comic swiping. There we go.
And if someone's swiping your stuff, it's kind of a compliment to your
Right.
stuff.
Hey, yeah, I mean, like I've said, Rich Buckler, how to draw comics the Rich Buckler way.
Find someone's
Yep.
style and steal it for your own.
Yep.
I think as a whole for DC, it's been their variant covers. I have kind of stopped. They show the regular cover, and I'll look at the regular cover, and I'll see do I like the regular cover or not. And if more than likely, I just think the regular covers are okay, and so I know that the variant's going to be a lot better. So it's been a good year for DC variants, and
But the variants aren't always better than the regulars.
No, because there's been a couple
Most of the time
Flash
with
ones that
DC,
have been
they
really
have-
bad.
Huh?
for me,
Right.
most of the DC variants have been better.
Yeah.
What is it? Was it Detective that came out this week, or was it last week's Detective?
Detective came out this week.
I thought it was Batman.
Was it
this week.
Batman that came out?
Yeah.
Might have been Batman.
Was Batman the one that had the blue cover?
Yeah, it was Batman. That came
It was
out.
Batman. Okay, the blue cover for Batman was really nice. I think it was Mark Brooks. He did a kind of a blue wash with the back, and it was.
So you
real
didn't
sweet.
like the Frank Miller variant?
No. It was your traditional normal Frank Miller and style hadn't changed. So all right, we're going to go over to you. Are we all combining on that one?
I don't know. I think you were still talking about variants.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we were. So
I'll put that down as a worst.
variants are
Stop with the damn variants already.
well, especially the ratio ones.
Yeah.
The 1 in 50, 1 in 25. Order one for every 200 copies you order of this book. 200%.
Or if you're gonna have Art Germ do a variant, just have him do the regular cover, because then you're gonna sell 20 times
Right.
more just because it's Art Germ doing the cover.
Well, variants, like our buddy Charles would say, he thinks they're a good thing, and I think it's a good and bad thing. I think for the artists, it gives more artists a chance to get paid. For
I
us,
think
it hurts our wallet.
A 1 in 10 or a 1 in 20, I think is good, but these 1 in 500, those are ridiculous.
Right.
Just
There's
stop.
Nobody's going to be able to afford that except for
No.
Yeah.
well, not anybody. Somebody that has a lot of money that can just blow it. Yeah, they can afford it. Like that Moon Knight variant that was like a 1 in 500 or 1 in 1,000. I don't remember now. Recently, and I'm a big Moon Knight fan, but I know I'm never going to have that because I can't afford
Now was
that.
it the remastered, or did they do one that had the logo on it?
It was I think it was the
Because
remastered
Marvel was
one.
doing they were doing regular ones like that. Then they were doing the higher up ones were like virgin covers.
Right.
I didn't know if it was a regular one or a virgin cover.
I don't. I think it was a virgin cover. I don't remember now.
You've slept since then.
Yeah, I've slept
Okay.
since then. So I mean, and also the store exclusives. So I mean, it's good for the artist. That's great. A lot of different artists get paid to make it, but man, it just
$15, $20 a
15,
pop
$20
adds
a pop.
quick.
And
Adds
that
up quick.
just boils down to to us as the comic consumer, having to speak with our wallet itself,
Yeah.
you know, and make conscious decisions ourselves on, you know, can I really afford this? How bad do I really want that? So,
I like what DC did with the Batman 50, though. They put out that special edition hardcover that had all the store exclusive covers in it.
That
so
was pretty cool. Yeah,
should have ordered one.
Didn't they do that for an action?
you
also?
can still get it. It's still available to get it.
Yeah.
So.
Because there were literally 50 variants to that, wasn't there?
Yeah, we're close to that. There's a lot.
I want to say they did that for the Action Comics 1000, but I don't. I know they did a hardcover that went along with that, like the history of the Action Comics or something. I don't know where it was.
But that's Superman.
Yeah, right.
Superman.
Actually, that's what I'm going to say is one of my best things for this year. Was the Man of Steel, and I'm going to get flack on it. Was Bendis going to DC? I think him bringing his
catch
books.
flag from it from me.
Well, no, him bringing all his other crap books there, his Jinx World stuff. I think I keep that at Image.
But it was at Marvel.
Well, I know it was at Marvel, but you should take it back to Image. Yeah, and just focus on the DC stuff. And I mean, Young Justice came out this week. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed his Man of Steel miniseries, and I've enjoyed his Action Comics. Yeah, that he's writing, and I've enjoyed Superman with his stuff he's been doing. So, and I hate to say that because I really hate Superman. So,
another thing I've been really enjoying is I've been enjoying the Batman Max. I've just been enjoying the Sam Keith art in it.
Is he writing it?
Are you sick?
Why am I sick? I don't know if he's writing it or not.
I think so.
It's been.
So it's
I think
weird.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but I like Sam Keith art.
That's okay. You don't like Kelly Jones.
I'm not a big Kelly
I know
Jones.
you're not, and
No.
sorry, Kelly. He has no taste. But anyway,
Well,
and I don't like Sam Keith. So
Yeah, he makes he makes like towers out of Batman.
see, I used to hate that when that's what took me off of Batman when the books were first coming out in the '90s, and I went back and reread them. And I was like, you know what, the art's awesome, and I don't really mind that anymore. So
He has some stuff.
but I like
that's good every so
I like
often.
old classic style Sam Keith back when he was doing Sandman. It wasn't his Max style, so he changed his style.
Yeah,
You know, so.
So yeah,
What do you got?
that would be a worst for me. Some of the Kelly Jones.
Worst Kelly Jones
Kelly
stuff?
Jones
Oh, okay.
came back on stuff. Yeah. That's,
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, not a Kelly Jones fan.
It's like I've got books that I would never pick up just because he's done the cover. I've got 2 Shadow books and a Battlestar Galactica. I'm like,
Kelly Jones?
yeah,
I wouldn't pick him up either because it's Kelly Jones.
yeah, okay. What do you got?
But I've been having to live through Kelly Jones' Batman book, the Fear or whatever, with him doing that.
You know, I have not read that yet.
It's,
I just need to sit down. I guess I'm waiting for all of them to come in, and I'll sit down. It's a Scarecrow story.
It's a decent story.
Yeah.
It's just his art. I don't know. It's just sometimes
His art's awesome. It's got vibrant colors. It's like
no.
Batman
sometimes-
doesn't fist bump in that.
He does good capes. I like his capes.
He does do good.
But I
capes.
don't like the having a tower on top of his head. 2 towers, you know.
You got to get that cell reception
Yeah.
from Alfred, man.
Probably.
Exactly.
Just think of them as cell towers on his head.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
You never thought about how tall he makes those?
Oh no, I know about being cell towers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see,
He can
They're
get
just
good
antenna.
reception.
just antennas there.
You can pick up XM radio on there.
There you go. See.
Don't even have to pay for it. So yeah. What about
I've got a worst.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your worst?
2018. Twitter.
Yeah. Yes.
Twitter was the
you keep
worst.
moving from worst to worst. Facebook to Twitter. What are you going to get on next?
I'm not going to get on anything next.
You're going to be on Snapchat or something?
I don't
I
know. Then
thought
we'll start.
Snapchat was dead.
I don't know.
I think it's still around. MySpace is dead though.
No, MySpace is still around.
MySpace
Is it
is
really?
still around. It's converted itself to more of a more music.
Our place.
Yeah.
Our space. Oh, sorry.
TikTok. You're going to go on move on
TikTok.
TikTok.
What is TikTok?
That's only videos, isn't it?
I don't know.
Carrington over here peeked up. What? TikTok.
You I don't think kids should have TikTok on there.
Karen just ever shaking her head no, wide-eyed, looking at Terry like he's nuts.
I'm saying TikTok's a bad thing.
It is a bad thing. Twitter's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just because on Twitter, all the nuance is gone. So you can't tell when somebody's trolling or being sarcastic, and it's just the worst of everything on Twitter. And I follow some people on Twitter so I can get the news from them. But then you get caught up in drama, basically.
What was the thing that happened last week?
Well, you got really caught up in the Gateway stuff there.
The Comics Gate.
That's a worst. I'm sorry, worst.
Well, it's the worst.
It's worst. Period.
No, it's both sides of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I'm just saying. I'm not saying
yeah.
just that side of it. I'm saying the whole thing.
It's just awful on both sides,
Yeah.
but both sides have valid points, but both sides have assholes spewing them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem. So,
well, looking ahead,
2019. All right.
Oh, wait! I got a best.
It's a best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got a best.
All right. Well,
Dan Abnett. He knocked it out of the park. It seems like everything that guy writes, I love.
Well, yeah, because you read that Captain Kronos, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I think that was from 2017, but I didn't read it until 2018.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember I got it because of the covers. They did photo covers of Carolyn Monroe, and so I bought them for those covers. And then I finally sat down and read them, and I'm like, holy crap, this book is awesome.
I think I bought the first one because it was Mandrake art.
Yeah.
And man, that guy, I'm waiting for him to just to do the phone book. Just to draw the phone book.
Yeah.
And I would buy it.
I picked it up just because I watched the movie years ago.
Yeah.
I'm a big vampire type fan, like vampire movies. So.
And he likes Twilight too.
That one is no. I do not like sparkly vampires. No.
I'll agree. Abnett, I've liked his stuff since he was writing with Lanning back when Austin would say Legion. I would say Guardians of the Galaxy. That whole stuff, the Guardians, Annihilation Conquest, all that, the Marvel Cosmic stuff that's paying off now in the MCU. I would say they need to get credit for that.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Abnett and Lanning seem to be one of those teams that just have it. But even him writing Silencer, even that's great.
His Aquaman was good.
Well,
I know you don't like Aquaman.
Can't read Aquaman.
But I'm just saying he.
Yeah.
I mean, writers. Jeff Johns made people. I liked Aquaman, but when Jeff Johns wrote it, I like Aquaman as a character. I enjoyed the Dan Abnett stuff, and
you can, for the most part, like anything, just depending on how well that writer is telling the story.
Yeah. I mean, Frank Miller's Daredevil. Yeah. They were going to cancel it until he took over. So, same with Claremont and Byrne on X-Men. Or I guess it was Claremont and Cockrum first. It was Len Wayne and Cockrum.
Yeah.
And then, Dan Abnett knocking it out of the park.
Yep. So you're saying looking forward then?
Looking forward to 2019.
What do we want to see? What do we want?
Yeah, what do you want to see? Do you have any Grails that you're going to try to get in 2019?
So okay. So what was?
I gotta have my Holy Grails already planned out.
I was like, wait a minute, we're looking forward. So we're segueing, and then we're wait a minute, I'm confused. What do you want to talk about now?
Are looking forward to 2019
in comics, or
are we doing the Grails now, or are we doing looking forward to 2019?
Both.
You kind of just jumped the shark over what I was.
We can do both. I mean, there's no reason we can't do both.
Well, let's look forward. What we're looking forward in the comic industry first.
Okay.
In comic-wise, what are you looking for in comic-wise? Not like books, but in like what do you want to see from the industry in 2019?
What do I want to see from the industry?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm not real sure.
We'll see us just all get along.
Yeah, let's just
all just get along.
All get along. I'm just looking forward to hopefully. There's a lot of Marvel stuff that I characters and stuff I do like, but like we've talked all through 2018, the storytelling has been awful. So just hoping that they kind of
art too.
listen and then just kind of start pumping out some books that are a little bit more that I'd be interested in. I'd like to get back into some Marvel books. There's very few of them that I read.
DC has been doing new talent showcases every year the last 2 years. I want to see Marvel do something like that.
You know, the last new talent showcase had 5 stories in them,
Mm-hmm.
and 4 of them were fantastic. And
Yeah.
that Wonder Woman story was awful.
But you don't like
Visaggio. Still, though, I didn't like everyone in the other 4 stories either, but the stories were really good.
Right.
But man, that Wonder Woman story is, ugh. God, it was awful. I don't even think I liked the art in it.
I thought the art was decent. But the art in the Batman I thought was really good, and
The Zatanna story was good, and the art was good, but there was one panel I was like, that doesn't look right at all.
there was a Constantine story in there too, wasn't there?
There was a Catwoman.
There was a Catwoman. I thought that was
I thought the Catwoman story was pretry good.
That the
and
one
I
with
liked
Damien?
the art. Yeah.
Yes, it's Damien. But I'm not a huge Damien fan. But no, the story was, yes, it was good. And the art went well.
But I thought it was how they used Damien was great. You know, they showed him as this little. You know, they showed Damien being Damien, but then they showed him having kind of a soft side too, which you don't ever see with Damien.
No.
So.
And
you got to admit, cat fighting's pretty cool. Literally having cats fight each other. Kind of like the dog fighting rings. Now you got cat fighting rings. I thought that was a funny take.
Yeah. When you got to take that down, Catwoman.
Yeah,
Can't have that.
Catwoman has to take that down.
But yeah, I'd like to see Marvel do something like that. I know they're going to launch Marvel Comics Presents again, and hopefully that will be what the new talent showcase will be.
Image itself is just the company itself is kind of a new talent showcase.
Well,
yeah, but we're discussing
Marvel has the Young Guns they'll do the covers for, but they, like he said, they should be doing stories like DC does with new talent showcase,
and
rather than just showing sketches from them.
Right. Like, I mean, put these people on. I mean, and by God, please, let's not do ongoing series as much anymore. Do if you have an artist that's really good, you have a story really good, do it as a miniseries. If it sells, do another miniseries. Like we've talked, don't do crossovers. And don't do ongoing series for people that only going after 5 issues get canceled. So,
well, I thought that was their whole thing, was that they were going to start doing miniseries.
I hope they do. I don't know,
but if you're going to do a series and you cancel it because of poor sales, don't relaunch it with the exact same creative team. Because guess what it's not going to do?
Not going to sell. And like you said, crossovers, big events, you know. I know we've done big events every comic season. They do it every year. They've done it since the 80s, but
seems like that's all Marvel is now.
Do one a year. Do one line wide. Like, you know, Secret Wars back in the 80s was a line wide thing. Where's Spider-Man at, you know? He's not in his book, but, you know, you got Black Cat helping out with Daredevil fighting in Amazing, you know? And you had the little blurb up there, like in the corner. You know, where's Spider-Man at, you know? Go back to that.
It seems like that's all Marvel does now is company-wide crossover events.
Yeah, every 3 months we have a new one. We're getting ready to do another. They're going to do that War of the Realms, which... if it's done by the same artist that's doing Thor, I really don't care.
I didn't think the last issue of Thor was all that bad. There was a couple of pages where I was like, but
it may not have been the same artist, so I don't know.
No, isn't that Mike Del Mundo?
Is it? Okay.
You know what's funny is I loved his art on Vision.
Right.
But on Thor, yeah.
It's totally different. It's a different style.
Yeah.
Do your Vision style. People will like it.
But I flipped through the last issue of Thor that just came out, and I thought the art was pretty decent, except for, you know, just a couple of pages that was like,
Sometimes one style doesn't fit a particular character or doesn't fit that storyline. So
yeah,
true.
He'd be good to have on like a Doctor Strange. Whereas where you could go to a mystical realm, that
Right.
art would fit.
Probably.
But, you know, I guess Asgard is a mystical realm.
Asgard's,
But
True.
it doesn't fit Thor, though.
No. What else were you going to see in 2019?
More alternative.
More alternative.
I mean,
Yeah,
they sell books
They had a
for
book that came out this week, Mystery.
Midnight Mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that still
And-
available?
Well, you can get most of their stuff on their website.
Yeah, you can get their stuff on their website, and their shipping's cheap. It's like,
Did you read the first one?
no, I'm waiting on it. I ordered it,
Uh-huh.
and they shipped it, but it's taking like forever.
Hmm.
The last time I ordered stuff from Alterna, I ordered those Tinsel Towns, and I had them in like a week and a half. But this, for some reason, it took like 4 days to get from New Hampshire to New Jersey. I'm like,
Isn't that just like right across the bridge almost?
yeah. So
I know it's not.
I've got Midnight Mystery #1 on order,
Okay.
so I'm waiting for it to show up so I can read both issues. But
I didn't know if Mike could order it or not.
he probably can. But I've been reading tweets from Peter Simeti, the guy that owns Alterna. It sounds like he's having a hard time with Diamond. Like they're canceling reorders without even asking him to fill them.
Probably so, because I know Diamond you have to sell so much, you know. But I can't imagine a whole lot of people.
He also put out a story about how he accidentally sent 14 copies of a book that were newsstand editions and not direct editions.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of Diamond saying, you need to send us 14 replacement copies, they just fined him $150. Well, the value of the books that he sent them wrong was like $8.60.
Damn.
And he was like, well, I can send you the 14 copies. They're like, nope, $150.
Dang. Yeah, I'll go on his website.
And
And they canceled
monopoly.
like 8,000 reorders on him without notifying him. So if I miss it from the Diamond shipment, I just order it directly from them. And then he gets more money.
That's true.
Yeah.
I may start doing that.
I've been picking up Alternative right from the bat.
Yeah.
I just saw $1.50. I'm like,
Well, you picked up
Well,
the chair.
I remember when they
Why not
first
take a
started.
chance?
Yeah, I remember when they first started soliciting, and I looked at them, and I'm just like, none of those really grabbed my attention. But the more I investigated them online, and the more I read people reviewing them, I'm like, well, you know, I'll give them a chance. And everything that I've read from them, I've liked. They're doing good stuff.
I got Mr. Cryptic, and I got Scrimshaw, I think, number ones.
Scrimshaw's been getting good reviews, and I guess
I
it's
need to get the
getting
rest
some
of those.
attention from Hollywood too.
I need to get the rest of those and finish reading them.
So, and like I said, Tinseltown was great, and it came out on a Wednesday as kind of an anthology. Now it's $1.99, but it's also twice as
48.
thick as a regular issue. So, I mean, for $1.50, you can't go wrong.
right. That's the whole reason I started picking them up.
Yeah. I wished I would have just started ordering everything they did, but I know that there's books called Eden and Exilium and
Now, Exilium is just recent, like 2 issues I think have been out of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Wicked Righteous. All of those have been getting really good reviews online, so they're putting out good stuff. So I've
And
started
$1.50.
signing up for their stuff in the catalog.
And if you want to go back and get it, it's not that expensive to go back and get from the website as well.
Right.
And they keep stuff, and now it may not be a first print, but they do keep stuff in print.
Right.
And it tells you on the website, you know, if this is a second print or a third print. I think the chair is in something like 7th or 8th printing now,
Yeah.
which is a feature-length film starring Rowdy Piper in his last starring role.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to, we just recently discussed TKO. I'm looking forward to seeing maybe some comic creators
I need
doing
to read
some more
'em.
creative stuff like that. And where they're kind of,
Bypassing
they're
the diamond.
bypassing Diamond. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they are successful if they're doing the right thing by their customers and they're creating good pieces of art and storylines. I'd like to see more of that for 2019. we're already getting a lot of that stuff, which you follow a lot through the FundMe sites.
Yeah.
So. You keep us up on that. So.
The problem with Indiegogo and Kickstarter, though, is everything's so expensive.
That's like that.
And then you got to wait forever to get it.
Where TKO is
it's already done.
It's already done. The whole story's done. It's an interesting concept.
And you get the whole story right there. And if you want single issues, well, you can get the single issues. If you want the trade, you can get the trade.
If you just want to read it online, you can do that. You got
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to seeing some new innovative ways that bypass Diamond.
They've become
putting out books.
TKO has, I guess, people have labeled them the Netflix of comics.
You know what? I think that's a good analogy.
Yeah. We're a binging culture, and they're allowing us to binge.
And I would not be surprised if you see more companies kind of do that, and also maybe look at one of the big two, try something like that.
Yeah.
We're going to put out. Here we got all these, all 12 issues. There's a 12-issue miniseries at one time, or you can buy the trade.
Yep.
I don't know.
The thing I didn't like about TKO is they're not upfront about how a retailer can order from them. They just say DM us or email us and we'll give you the details. They should post that right up there on their website.
Yeah, you just
for retailers, it's this. You get this discount, blah,
and hopefully
blah, blah.
maybe they have a lot of DMs from retailers. They'll do that.
I could see it be interesting, just a retailer going ahead and trying it and ordering maybe one or two of their books and trying the single issues, because they come in that nice looking box. I think the boxes look pretty cool.
Yeah,
and just having those setting on the shelf somewhere.
Yeah, I thought they were slip cased, but it's not. It's a box.
It's not. Yeah.
And apparently they're oversized. They're not.
Yes, they're oversized.
Yeah. Like how big, or like Golden Age size, where they fit in better? Or, I mean, we're talking like oversized. Like
I think they're a little taller.
They're taller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of like the old days when you had the CDs and they came in the tall, and you had your CDs down
the long boxes.
The long boxes.
Oh, I hated long boxes.
So they're kind of like that.
All right. Cool.
So I'm looking forward to some more innovation, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward, for more things that will push, help, push the industry, and I think that being one of basically the cheaper books, and that binging on demand kind of deal will help. Yes,
I kind of wish some other companies would follow Alterna's lead and start doing newsprint so they can sell them cheaper.
I've been an advocate of newsprint for the longest time.
Yeah.
I love how the colors get saturated in the newsprint and just gives it a whole different feel to it. I've enjoyed that from when I was a kid, and I would love to see most books go back to that. I think it's much better than the paper they use today.
And I was talking to Mike, and Mike was saying that if you go back and look at, say, a loaf of bread in the 60s or whatever, and you compare all these things, how the price is inflated on them and everything, comics should be like $2.60, and they're $4.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think that's something I don't think we'll see them go back down to 2. I would love for them to do newsprint, as reasons said, yes. But I'd also like to see DC or Marvel take a chance and do one of their big books. Do Amazing Spider-Man on newsprint just to see, or do a Spider-Man book on newsprint, or Batman on newsprint for $2.
Yeah.
Something like that. $2, or $1.95, Spawn. McFarlane kept his Spawn book at $1.95 well until I think recently. I think it's like now up to $2 now, something like that still.
I think Spawn's is $3.99 now.
Is it $3.99 now? Okay.
Or $2.99 maybe.
But it stayed at $1.95 for a long, at least 100 issues.
Oh, you used to put that right on the cover. Still only $1.95.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying, and I hope to see this continue further and maybe even expand, is that Marvel's been putting out these facsimile books.
I think they should. Yes, the facsimile books have been nice, but I'm loving the True Believers.
I do not like the the paper on them, on the facsimile books at all, and the coloration. It's very off-putting from having read the originals or seen the originals. But I would like to see that expand further into DC as well as Marvel, and not just release certain issues, but maybe runs of certain books.
Now you're talking about the facsimiles?
The facsimiles, yeah. I'd like
Or
to
the
see
true
or the true
believers.
believers that are $1 a piece.
both.
Because the facsimiles are just like on big key books.
Yeah,
Like
right.
FF1, Hulk 181.
Right, and the True Believers also have like the number ones and stuff that are
Right.
key books. I would like to see runs of these, like very hot runs, like Walking Dead did several years ago. They did Walking Dead Weekly, and they reprinted those books.
Yeah.
I would love to see Detective Comics do 27 on up to something, and
I'd like to see them do 1 through 26.
There-
Those are the
yeah.
ones you never see.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that aren't going to be able to afford those original issues. And true, you can get them in the
Archives.
in the archives, the compendiums and stuff.
Well, and that's something they could do
But if you've
on...
also looked at those compendiums, the recoloration of them is horrid for DC.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd like to see those reprinted just in individual issues, so you can add those into your individual collection issues. That would just be awesome,
Yeah.
You could do the whole run then if they did something like that.
Well, taking it a little bit like back, we're talking about the newsprint stuff. Reprint them on newsprint for $1, $2,
yeah, you could do that.
$1.50.
Yeah.
I think
I would
people
love, and
buy
on run
them.
wise, I would pick a start on I know where to start on a couple of characters, but I don't know where I'm at on Superman. But like on Batman, do issue 100 or so, and reprint it on that
Or even if
newsprint.
you just did the first 100 issues
Yeah.
of Batman, that would be awesome.
As the single issues, I don't think I'm the only one that would
I don't know.
who
Well,
would
those
sign up.
Golden
for that.
Age books, though, were 60 pages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they'd have to split that up because they couldn't sell that for $1.
Well, for
No, they're
$2,
not going to
it
sell it for
probably
$1. It would probably be a little bit more expensive, but I think a lot of people would sign up for those enough to where they could
Definitely
do it
justify doing
Yeah.
it,
Yes.
I would not be opposed, and I know it probably won't happen. I kind of, and it could, is that they get tired of publishing new stuff, and that's what they go back and do.
Well, the movie industry has shown that redoing stuff is what seems to sell.
Yeah.
So why not the comics? Redo these.
But I think the
Okay.
True Believers have proven that there's a demand for them, and
Yes.
people are willing to spend $1 on them.
And the facsimiles, even though they're a little bit more expensive.
Mike has many customers in here that were like, yeah, if any book for $1, I'll buy.
Yeah.
And
so-
they're like, they're not going to be able to afford it. Most people aren't going to be able to afford it. Like just recently, Conan #1 came out, and the True
Yeah.
Believers. A lot of people aren't going to be able to afford that, but they can pick that up.
He's selling more copies of these True Believers than he's selling of some X-Men books and some Spider-Man books.
That's sad.
So, yeah.
That's real sad. Speaking of redoing in Hollywood, I've got to interrupt on this one. Hellboy.
Is this a worst?
No, this is a what the hell? Hellboy.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
So, saw Aquaman today, and we saw the trailer for Hellboy. I'd seen it before, but it was cool seeing it on the big screen. In the trailer, it shows him fighting Rasputin,
Mhm.
and we've seen the trailer where he's got the big horns and it's the crown of hell. Are we redoing the first Hellboy again? Seed of Destruction?
I don't know. I haven't really.
Because I
I don't
the
know. I
trailers
watched
a whole lot.
a trailer on YouTube, and I'm like, whatever. I don't need to see that.
Because Abe Sapien's not there. We have Liz, but I'm like, I mean, are we just redoing Seed of not
don't
Seed
know.
of Destruction, but
Right Hand of Doom.
is that word with
Well, people
Seed
have
of
been
Destruction was the first one.
speculating
Right.
on Seed of Destruction for a while now. I've been picking it up, and that's why it's so much higher
the
in
Wild
price.
Hunt. People are speculating on the Wild Hunt because they
No,
show
they've
up in
also
it.
been speculating on.
Well,
Before,
I guess-
actually, before Wild Hunt, they've been speculating on Seed of Destruction.
Well, but the Seed of Destruction with him coming in.
Yeah. That was,
Okay, all right. So yeah, okay. I mean, I've read the stories. I'm just trying to remember it though. But yeah, I mean, it's like Rasputin's there, and it's like you see him like get the lightning hit, and I was like, okay, so we're redoing. So
I
we're
think
like
they're
totally.
just making a Hellboy movie.
They're just scorch earthing Perlman's Hellboy and starting over.
That's fine.
No,
No.
no.
I
Anyway, I'm
liked
sorry.
I liked the original two Hellboy.
I did
movies,
too. They were
but
fun.
I thought they
They
were
were-
okay.
I don't. this new one just doesn't excite me at all.
His forehead looks weird.
So does yours, but anyway. Yeah, sorry, I totally took it off on a different track. I'm sorry, because you mentioned that.
You interrupted the flow.
I did. I'm sorry I interrupted the flow. So let's get back onto the flow here. Redos, and yeah, the reprinting of the older books would be great.
Yeah, something
like on Green Arrow. Pick 76. I know it's been, and just like do 76 through. Talking about runs, pick the Neil Adams run.
We're going Green Lantern.
Green Lantern, yes. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about classic runs or just books such that are just that nobody's going to be able to afford, like Detective and Batman.
Or do X-Men from 94 to 142.
Yeah. Well, that's like DC back in the 80s, and in some in the 90s, they did the Silver Age Showcase. They did, and they also did the Millennium editions around the year 2000. They would pick books and they would reprint them on nice paper and all that, But
Marvel could do. I'm sure people would pick up a lot of stuff like
Marvel Comics #1.
Did the timely Captain Americas?
Yeah.
With those. I know
Schomburg.
I know the Nazi and Japanese and the art that you don't typically do today.
You couldn't do that. You couldn't show a
but
hit
I
punch
don't know.
Hitler.
I would I would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's what they did back then. I'd redo it. And
no, they'd rather reprint it in a hardcover and charge you $80 for it.
Although you did get Bucky.
You got Little Bucky.
Yeah.
Standing at attention.
Yes. I remember they recalled that hardcover.
They did $3.99, $4 for those issues. Individual issues, a lot of people would be on board, I think, because a lot of people just can't afford those, and it's so nice to have them as single issues in your collection.
And those were good books.
Yeah.
Better than what they're putting out now.
Right. I mean, the stories are really well written, and the art was awesome. So
amazing.
yeah.
I mean, there's been a few customers in here that they've taken everything off their list. I mean, it's down to the bare minimum, and they're buying back issues because they know that they can buy issues from 15 years ago for next to nothing, and the stories are 10 times better than what's coming out.
Those were already have been established that this was a great run here.
Yeah,
you go back and get it.
I'm going through the Doctor Strange separate reality trade, reading it because I've never read it, and so I've never read the Silver Dagger story, and haven't got to the Silver Dagger story yet because you start at 178, I think, 179 and through to 180, 181, all these. And it's just taking time because, unlike picking up a Doctor Strange book or any book trade from the last couple of years, or last 5-10 years, they were wordy as hell.
Yeah.
And the art was awesome, but you're reading, there's a lot of reading on it, and it's just, you got more in one issue than you get in a whole trade of, almost.
That can go both ways, though, because I read a lot of Alan Moore stories now and think, God, man, he could have summed this up in 2 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
But Alan Moore likes to read himself.
This is Roy Thomas writing it. So
I'm just saying, that can work both ways.
True.
You
can read a Bendis trade in under 10 minutes and get the whole story.
Whereas reading a Roy Thomas Doctor Strange or Steve Englehart Doctor Strange, you can read like 6 pages in 10 minutes.
Because you look at the story and it's just
I could also see though, that a lot of people that own these really big expensive books, individual
issues, be against it.
They would be against it, but at the same time, why would Marvel and DC care? They don't care about the back issues stock.
Yeah, they need to quit caring about secondary market value and start making money.
Yeah,
right.
Well, and I think also though you got those collectors that have these issues, but would still buy it again just to sit there and read it.
Well, that's what I did with the Conans. I have all the Conans they're reprinting, but I bought those, so if I ever want to read them again, I can read those.
Break out your originals,
right. I own an Avengers #2. I'd like to have an Avengers #2 reprint in case I want to sit and read it.
Go buy Avengers Classics.
I did, actually.
Yeah.
There you go.
I felt like I got rid of them.
That I think would be interesting to see. So.
All right, now, 2019. What are y'all's Grails to get in 2019? We'll say 2019, and then we'll say 2019, then maybe 5 or 6 years from down the road.
Well, I didn't come up with those. You said Grails, so I just came up with Grails.
Okay, that's fine. That works. That works too.
My Grail,
I mean,
for the following year or so, is something I really wanted for a while, and I finally got started on it back at OFCON. I picked up a Phantom Stranger #1 Golden Age. So I have 5 more issues of that, and I'm going to be looking to slowly pick those up over this. And these are books I can afford. They're not cheap, but they are books I can still get and afford, at least in low grade.
I'd say in that case, then probably mine would be, I think it was Weird Science Fantasy 27, but it's the Wally Wood cover, and it's got the girl in the bubble helmet, and it's got like the big worm creatures coming after him. Because that one's still affordable.
You set your sights on that.
For this year, just whenever.
Immediate future.
Yeah.
Well, since I got 5 issues of Phantom Stranger to get, it's going to take me a while, so this could stretch over all of 2019 into 2020 as well. I mean, I'm not going to be able to pick them up. Even the low grades, which are the ones I can afford, are still going to cost me, if I'm lucky, $300. If I'm not, $600 to $700.
Yeah.
Or even if I am lucky, $600 to $700. So.
My Grails are the creepies that I still have left to complete my runs.
Yeah, that's a run. That's what you've been working on for at least 15 years, if more.
No,
or 10 years at least.
Creepy and Eerie hasn't been that long.
Really? I thought they were.
They may 6 or 8 years, maybe. But it took me 15 years to complete my Vampirella run.
Okay, well, that's true.
Because I was just going to get Vampirellas, and then I'm
but
like...
you can't do that. You got to get Creepies in.
Yeah. So I finished my Vampirella run and then started in on Creepy and Eerie. And
yeah, you'll never be able to finish that Eerie run, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Unless
well,
you
in my eyes, the Eerie's start at #2.
They do.
I think that's in anyone. I mean, really. I mean, because
I'm not buying a comic that is a name your price value.
Yeah, no.
That's why I'll never own a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1.
No, that's a book. Yeah, anybody can pretty much name their price on that book.
Get one for about $2,000.
2? What, water damaged and torn?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what about you, Joe?
Well, I've got some. This year I'm looking to replace. I'd like to pick up an MYX3. And probably an X-Men 94.
I still need an X-Men 94. I got my.
I know we can get one. I passed on it.
I know as well.
Because you guilt tripped me. You did. You know, I've been looking for that. You jump on the bandwagon to get it. So.
Doesn't Mike still have one?
Yeah,
he does. He has one.
Yeah,
but we're looking at it, and it's a nice book, and it's signed. I think he wants a little too much as to why you get it eventually, but at the same way.
So I went ahead and picked up some other X-Men's in the 120s.
But here you can put it on layaway.
That is true. That's what I was going to do. But I picked up some other issues in the 120s to kind of fill that gap I'm trying to fill. So
you got 129, right?
I do have 129, yes, and 130. 2 important runs of that book.
And my other Grails are just consistent stuff that just to pick up more Detective and more Batman.
Because you're trying to get those finished up.
I'll never get all of those. There's no way that they get way too expensive, but just pick away at it.
Like I said, those 2 pretty much right now are going to be what I'm focusing on this year and trying to finish my X-Men run from 94 to like, I don't remember when I want to stop on that. So
keep working on my Daredevil run and keep working on my Swamp Things.
I just thought of another one that
I think I've done. How many rights in Swamp Things were there?
Well, I've got all the rights in ones. I've got House of Secrets 92 and then the first 20 Swamp Things, and then I have probably 2/3 of the
Alan Moore one.
The
ones you're going for?
Saga of the Swamp Thing. I think I'm missing like 3 of them in the first 50, but I've got the big ones. I got 1 and 20 and is it 24?
34.
What is it? 36 is the first Constantine,
yeah.
but
Yep.
it's like 24 is like
He
he's
shows
standing in the crowd
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. I saw that the other day.
The one I am missing though is 49, and that's the one that everyone says is the first Justice League Dark.
Mm-hmm.
I have 50 and I have the annual, but I don't think I have 49. And I've got the 2 Arkham Asylum issues. So it's just finding all the dollar bin issues.
Which Arkham Asylum issues?
I don't know.
There's a 2-issue storyline in Swamp
It's like
Thing
50
that deals
okay.
with Arkham Asylum.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty interesting story.
57 and 58 or
I've
somewhere
got-
in there.
I think I've got from 20 to when more left. I'm missing maybe just a few issues hit and
Yeah.
miss from there.
If you haven't read them, you should
I don't
read
have the
them.
first
They're pretty-
Constantine.
they're
No, wait, I
pretty
do have the first
interesting.
Constantine, yes. I do have the first Constantine.
But I think it ran to like issue 180 or something like that.
Oh, God, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it ran a while.
And
I
I
don't think there's a...
I think I have about half of the new 52 ones, and
Moore didn't do up to 180, though, did he?
no,
Okay.
No.
Okay. So I just did pick it up the Moore ones, so...
Yeah,
It's going to have that run, so...
I have most of the Alan Moore run.
Another thing, sort of a resolution I'm going to try to do this year.
Not pay
something-
more than $1.
Buy Kenny and my
It's
book
something
for
that
us.
I should have been doing all along.
Buying books for us.
No, you guys
Boarding
know,
and-
I'm
boarding
a
and
hoarder.
bagging my
I'm
comics.
You are a
I'm
hoarder.
comic book hoarder.
Terry is the running joke is that it used to be that he would shoot his comics up to the moon when Russia launched satellites, and rockets up there, and they would just be orbiting the moon.
And I have done this I've done it a little bit here and there. Like I got rid of most of my New Mutant 98s, to buy
helped
something
them.
else. But I really do need to go through and to fund my bigger books that I want is to sell all these multiple books that I have that are
That people
key
ask him to
issues
find, and he never finds them for him.
right.
You mean like Batman 880 or 879 or whatever it is?
But he
Or
has 16 of
Detective?
them of. Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
He only has
that is-
20 copies.
What issue is that?
880, Detective 880.
880.
The job
Like
cover.
Jack-
881 was the last before the relaunch, or before
I think so,
the
yeah.
new 52.
Something like that.
There's two books, that and 232 of Batman, that I will be keeping all my multiple copies of those. But
Now, 232, is that the
Neil Adams.
classic Joker one with him on the card?
No,
No,
that is the Ra's al Ghul.
Okay, yeah, I was like,
The
okay.
green one.
That's right, yes, I need one of those too. So you can part with one of those yours for me.
I don't have a whole lot of them, but I do have several of them.
And what was the Neil Adams with the Manor?
Oh, that's
It was a homage
213?
to a original
Yeah.
Detective cover, or
right.
something.
What issue number is that one?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I only have one or two of those, maybe three.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
They're
He's
not
not sure.
all in the greatest grade.
Do you have one?
Mm-mm.
See, neither do I. So see,
So
You know, it kills me though how many times I've passed up that
yeah.
Joker cover where he's throwing the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times I passed that up at $20-$30, and now it's what, 400 or something.
So is that your in the future not to pass up books like that anymore?
Well,
The classic book, classic cover that I don't think is, and there again I passed it up as the classic Joker holding the laughing fish.
I have the Laughing Fish cover.
Yeah.
Love that cover. Some other ones I'm looking to pick up is First Silver Age Aquaman and Hawkman. And Aquaman 1, Hawkman 1, and a Hawkman 4. I've had a Hawkman 4 and I sold it at the time I was selling books, and now I'm kind of keeping my stuff now. I want to not doing comic shows anymore as much, and if I do, I have the rest of my comic industry or comic merchant stuff that I don't want to keep that I'll probably sell off and then stop doing them as much as I can. So.
My resolution is to actually board and bag my comics.
My resolution is to have Kenny board and bag my comics as well.
No, you're going to do mine.
You know what? I will make you a deal. Not this week, but next weekend. No, I mean not the coming up one. The weekend after prior, I'm working. If you want to bring 2 boxes up here,
And then I got to bring 2 boxes up here.
But you want to bring them up here? I mean,
we have talked about having just get-togethers where we all get together and.
I will bag and board 2 boxes of your books for you.
Yeah, but then I have to have bags and boards, and then I got to decide which 2 boxes.
Getting that material together.
That's why you just grab 2 boxes and just. I've got 2 boxes of stuff I need to do.
What I need to do is dig out some comics and sell them. Is what I need to do.
That's what I'm saying. I need to start funding my books. That's the whole intention of buying multiple copies of stuff. Is
right.
To try to fund your big keys.
These aren't multiples though. These are like variant covers that are hot. I'm like, you're going to give me $400 for a J. Scott Campbell cover? That's fine. I'll sell it to you. But I actually need to dig it out, post it on eBay, and sell it.
I need to, and I'll get to a point on my filing of stuff. I'll get I have 2 boxes. Okay, I got a box and a half filled. All right, good. They're filed away. And then I forget that I still have 2 other boxes I got to bag and board. So then I got to do all those and then go back through and file. So yeah, my goal is
only 2 boxes, huh?
Hey, you know what? It was a lot worse when I pulled all that stuff from my show stuff. And so it was like up to 6, I think, at one time. So
man,
yeah, hey,
whole boxes.
Ooh.
Just because you all don't bag and board your stuff for several years.
A lot of mine it's bagged and boarded. It just needs to be rebagged and boarded.
Right.
It needs to be redone.
Yeah. I was thinking another Grail that I haven't picked up that I would like to pick up in 2019 is, and I've been putting it off for a long time, is I enjoyed it when it originally came out. I enjoyed the movie, but I've never owned the original Crow miniseries.
Yeah. Caliber Presents.
I don't really want the first. I'm not really concerned with his first appearance. I would just like to have the series because
that first miniseries.
I really enjoyed it. And when it first came out, I picked up the trade years ago. So.
That's something I'd like to do. Is a book that I had and sold is to put all the Cry for Dawns back together.
Yeah,
including all the second prints.
Did you cry for Dawn?
I did.
I saw that he's going to be down in Dallas Comic Show.
They should advertise when
March
he's
or
not
April.
at the Dallas show.
Well, it's been a while, but I mean, I got an art piece. I had him do a sketch for me, and I've talked about it before. I fell on some kind of hard times. I sold it, and so I'd like
that
to kind
Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I know. So I thought about seeing if he would. I know he doesn't do sketches as much, but see what he charges for a sketch. Have him do it, and have him have a necklace or something, or in the vines that have my name on it. Yeah. So that way, it's something that's kind of personalized, and so I won't sell it. So I know it was a beautiful sketch. So
you only paid what, $50 or $60 for it?
Got 100.
We really haven't asked Carrington. Carrington? She looks like a deer in the spotlight.
There's a deer in the headlight there.
But in 2018, you watched a lot of manga and comics and stuff like that, right?
It's called anime, sir.
Anime, right? Yeah. So what was your favorite comic book or anime, manga, whatever, for 2018? I think we know that answer.
I don't know. It's a toss-up, I think. That's what I think it is.
That's a hard question.
It is a hard question.
Way too many.
Well, what are some of your favorites?
Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, My Hero Academia, Black Butler, Fairy Tail. I have a list.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good amount of them. What would you say were some of the worst that you tried out?
I don't know. I like most of them.
You like most of them. Well, that's good. Well, there's some recommendations.
She was unhappy about Vampire Knight.
Oh, Vampire Knight. No, that's my least favorite.
That's a bad one. It's not.
Well,
that
she
great.
liked it, but then her friend spoiled it for her, and then it made her mad how it ended, and so she quit watching it.
I gave up.
Is there any anime that's coming out in 2019 that you're excited to see?
They're continuing the 3rd season of Attack on Titan, so...
Yeah.
All right.
And Voltron.
That's over.
Did it finish all that?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, see, I'm behind, so... Sorry.
And I guess the people that made Castlevania are trying to get the rights to Berserk because the last remake of Berserk was terrible, so they want to remake it.
The first done was terrible.
One of my favorite animes.
Oh my god!
I
why?
love that thing, but the very end of it is atrocious. The way it ends is just.
We watched the 3 movies.
The Golden Arcs?
Yeah.
Which I think was just I'm not positive.
It was a condensed version of the anime
condensed version
show.
of the original anime,
Yeah.
I want more Hellsing.
I think there is a new Hellsing in there.
Maybe.
Or is it Trigun that they're going to do?
I think Trigun to come back. They're doing a new Trigun. Yeah. I liked Hellsing. It was a fun anime.
I can't get her to watch that one.
Really?
Yeah. She's still on Supernatural though. She's up to season 10. So
only 14 seasons of that.
I'm sorry, 15.
Was there any of those?
14.
Those are some animes. Was there any comic books that stood out to you in 2018? You still reading My Little Pony, or is that you've kind of gotten past My Little Pony now?
Pass.
Yeah.
Well, the only comic that she's read has been Stranger Things, I think.
Oh, okay.
And she said it was like kind of like an episode about what was happening to Will in the Upside Down during the show.
Ah.
She said it was pretty good.
Okay.
She wasn't all that thrilled about it, but she said it was pretty good. Other than that, she's reading manga of animes that she's watched.
What she's watching. Okay. That's fair enough.
She's working on Death Note right now.
I only have 102 pages left
Of the series?
of this one.
Oh, of that one. Okay.
I watched most of the anime, but at some point I stopped. I never got back to it.
Yeah.
And I haven't. They didn't do a live action, I guess, as well. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Carrington, what's your golden rule?
Never, ever watch a live action of an anime.
I want to see Alita. That actually looks good.
It wasn't a live action of Harlock, was it? But it was still a new
computer
CG computer animated.
That was
pretty
good. That was good.
Battleship, was it Battleship Tokyo or something like that? They did a live action of that one several years back.
You mean Yamato?
Yeah, Yamato.
Battleship Yamato?
Yeah, that was
Not
okay.
Tokyo, Yamato. Star Blazers.
Star Blazers, yeah. So,
all right, well, what?
I was going to say the Death Note anime. You've seen the meme where from the Avengers where Loki says I have an army and Tony Stark says I have a Hulk.
right.
Well, there's a meme that someone's added to the bottom of that with what's the demon's name? Ryuk. And he says, I have an apple. It's pretty funny. If you watch the anime, you'll get it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember the apples. Yeah, he loved apples.
Yeah. So,
All right.
Well, that's all I have. Unless you guys have something else you would further like to expound upon.
Well, I think we've expanded on it. Anything you want to expand on? No. All right.
oh, there was something I saw on Twitter, unfortunately. An artist tweeted out in 10 years of working at Marvel, he had to do 4 redraws. In 4 years of working at DC, he had to do 100 redraws. And he was posting it as if DC was the problem. I had to do 100 redraws in 4 years at DC. I see that as knocking Marvel.
Yeah.
Because
Marvel didn't care.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's no oversight at Marvel.
Right.
And we've seen that in some of the stuff that sneaked past them.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Because we've said multiple times through 2018 that there is no... I mean, I was looking forward to this new X-Force book. I look at the art and I'm like, yep, nope. It was atrocious.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because to artists that listen, if we have any artists that listen, I mean, it's not that I'm not liking it. It's just
it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not going to catch. That's what the covers are supposed to be for,
right?
Is to catch your attention.
Well, it's had a good cover.
But if you go and so that gets you that gets you in the gateway is to pick it up. But then when you look on the inside and that doesn't continue, what the cover has made you do pick it up.
Yeah,
you're not going to sell the book.
No,
the cover's always going to be the best art,
right?
But the stuff inside should look somewhat.
And I mean, I know we've all bought books just for the cover, and so
yeah, you bought 3 this week.
Yep.
Well, I did, yes. Actually, I bought more than that because I ended up buying like 4 or 5 copies of Young Justice for the covers.
I wish I would have asked Mike for more of that Harley, but I got one, so that's cool. I'm happy. Put that in my collection.
I got about 24 books this week, and I'd say probably 17 of them were because of the cover.
Well, it's like anytime, I know with you and sometimes me, anytime we see Allred doing the cover, it's an automatic buy. I mean, it used to be with Cho. Every time you saw Cho got it, you got it. So, I mean, the cover. But, yeah. No, Christy was real happy with Young Justice because she wanted I got one of the covers she wanted. It had Superboy. She's a big Superboy fan. 90s Superboy. And so there's one cover. And so
Has the new anime started for that yet?
Yes. 2 episodes have been out. So.
Okay. Have you watched them?
No, I haven't seen. No, I haven't even seen season 1 all the way through.
Oh, wow.
So I got to finish season 1.
Watch
finish season 2.
Season 1
and I can watch 3.
Worth watching.
I know that. So all right. So let us know what some of your best and worst of 2018 are.
What you're looking forward to in the future in the comic industry for 2019.
And
more Blake Northcott. That's what we need.
I'm not arguing. I read the Vampirella book she did. I read the Executive Iris stuff she's done. I was late to get the Grim War. I'll pick it up when it comes out in trade. So.
It's available on Amazon right now.
Is it now? Okay, cool. Is it like oversized trade or is it?
No, it's not a comic.
No, but it's like an oversized like.
It's a paperback.
But it's like a paperback, like the small paperbacks, or is it like a little bit bigger size?
It's bigger.
Or is it like the Solomon Kane?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
size.
Cool. All right, good. So I'll pick that up then because it sounds interesting. So, but yeah, just let us know what some of your Grails may be. What you're looking, like Terry said, what you're looking forward to for next year, and what your best and worst of this year were, or 2018 was. If you're in the Tulsa or Oklahoma area, Pryor is next weekend in PriorCon.
You ain't gonna get this posted by the time that happens.
In case she does get
this will be posted tomorrow night. Actually,
in case she does get it posted by then, yes, PriorCon will be next weekend, which this will be its 3rd year.
3rd year, right?
It's been an amazing little con. I'm hoping this year is going to be just as good. Weather so far is not looking positive for the con.
I haven't heard. So it may be cool, but cold.
But being in Oklahoma, it may not look positive now, but Oklahoma weather is so flighty. It could be sunshiny and great come next weekend.
Yeah, because
the
last
saying
couple of years,
welcome to Oklahoma. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute.
Yep. Yeah. March will be which we can discuss later. But to be trying to heads up, will be a CollectorCon 1-day show back at the Armory. Or no, not the Armory. The
American Legion.
Yeah, American Legion. We need to do it at the Armory. I think it'd be fun. So that's what's coming up. So anyway, yeah, this is Dalian. Check us out on YouTube
and
Facebook,
iTunes,
Google,
yes,
and the Twitters.
No, the Twitters is only about once every 2 weeks.
Oh, is it once every? Okay.
He doesn't do the Twitters very much.
He doesn't like the Tweeties, but But no, hey, if you're on Twitter, send us a message on Twitter. So I guess this is Dalian.
It's Terry.
Kenny.
Carrington.
Have a good evening.